Yo, it's official. Like a referee with a whistle. So like and share this episode. You know? So it's a Sunday afternoon. We out here, man. It's hot. And it's been hot for the last last 3 days, man. It's like 94 degrees. Oh, it's hot out here, man. A lot of people outside. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I've been outside, but I ain't staying out there that long. I wait till the sun go down. You know what I'm saying? That's how I do it. Then I go outside. But hey, you know, it's another one. And P.S. and by the way, what up, Marcus? If you want any of my books, go to SharpGameBook.com. That's where you get any of my books. If you know, that's the easiest way. So yeah, man, it's Sunday afternoon, and this is somebody sent me an email. Mad hot, yeah, it is. Somebody sent me an email a couple of days ago talking about the Manosphere and PUAs and how it came about. And yeah, I can talk about this because I remember when I know how I remember how the Manosphere came about from the beginning. That's how long I've been online. And I actually know I used to know some of these guys back in the day. This is like early 2000s when this kind of like a community started. It was a small community. But let me tell you what these guys did. These guys basically created their own little economy with the PUAs. And then now it kind of morphed into the red pill. And you got the black pill. And you got the blue pill. You know what I'm saying? But everything kind of started with the pickup artists. That's how all the shit really got started. Well, no, I'm gonna go back. It started with a book that Tariq Nasheed wrote called The Art of Macking. So what Tariq Nasheed came out with a book called The Art of Macking, I want to say 2003, 2002, somewhere around there. Early 2000. And a lot of them white dudes read Tariq Nasheed's book, The Art of Macking, which is a good book, by the way. But a lot of the white dudes, a lot of these pickup artists read Tariq Nasheed's book, and they started to basically steal, paraphrase what Tariq wrote in his book, and they started coming up with their own books, their own digital programs. They started having conferences all around the world. And then, like Neil Strauss, an author named Neil Strauss, wrote a book called The Game. And that's when the shit really took off with the PUAs. Now, Neil Strauss never really said he was a PUA guy, but he never really said he wasn't either. You know what I'm saying? Because what used to happen is the PUA guys used to invite Neil Strauss to speak at their conferences. So that's why one reason why I think Neil Strauss never really said he wasn't a pickup artist dude. Now, like I said, they had their own little economy going on. I'm talking, and then you had this one dude called Mystery. Mystery was a white dude. Well, he still is a white dude. He's still around. All these guys are still around. All these guys are still around. You know, they might not be in the dating scene doing what they used to do, but they still around. Now, Mystery is a kind of a guy. He's like a white guy from Canada that got a lot of charm and charisma, and he dressed a little flashy. You know, he got a mouthpiece. He can spit. You know, he talk shit around anybody. But Mystery, Neil Strauss, kind of blew that pickup artist space wide open. And it was all based on Tariq Nasheed's book, The Art of Macking. That's how the whole that's how this whole Manosphere shit started. So the Manosphere is really a watered down version of what Tariq Nasheed wrote in his book. That's what the whole shit, this red pill shit, a lot of that shit ain't got nothing to do with me. Ain't got nothing to really do with us if you're a black person, really. You know. See, a lot of these guys are kind of weirdo dudes. Degenerates. A lot of them beat their wives, they beat their girlfriends, beat their kids. And a lot of them be getting charges over the years. And a lot of these guys, I don't see them no more. A lot of them went to prison, and you know, they got these weird charges that they be getting and shit. Like I said, they beat women. A lot of these guys are nerds. You know what I'm saying? They think that if you're a man and you get with a woman, you're doomed to fail. It's just never going to work. You know what I'm saying? They have that doom and gloom mentality. Like, it don't matter what type of woman you get with, you're gonna fail eventually. These nerds, that's how nerds think. They think it doesn't matter where she's from, especially if she's from America. You know, it's the relationship is doomed to fail. It's that mentality. And here's another thing that you might not realize. A lot of these guys tend to be mixed. They mix with something. Half white, half black, half Spanish, half black, half Spanish, half white, or something like that. It's usually that type of deal. And a lot of them, they hate themselves. And the reason why they hate themselves because they wannabes. They want to be down with white people, but white people don't accept them. So what they'll do, if the white people don't accept them, they'll take their frustrations out on the black people. That's how Andrew Tate is a good example of this. Andrew, if you follow Andrew Tate online, he always say a little slick shit about black people from time to time. You know, now, because some people will say, well, Andrew Tate, he's black. Yeah, but his dad was black. His dad was in the military. But if you really look at Andrew Tate real good, you're like, yeah, but he's trying to pass for white, though. You know what I'm saying? Now, he never said his dad wasn't black. He never said he talked about his dad, you know, Like his dad was great. You know, he loved his dad. That's what it sounds like. Just depending based on what he says about his dad. He never denied his dad at all. But if you really look at how he carried himself, he really wants that white validation. And it's never going to happen with these guys. So what they'll do is that the name calling online, the memes and all that shit, the funny, goofy shit, that's frustration because they're not getting that validation from the white people. So a lot of these guys are confused. They have identity problems. They want to be a white Anglo so bad. It's like they'll do almost anything to get it. Anything. Another good example of this is them fresh and fit dudes. The fresh and fit dudes, Meyer and I forget the other dude's name. You know, they're foreigners. But they be doing all this goofy shit on the show. And it ain't just dumb. It's a lot of shows online, a lot of channels online of a lot of guys doing goofy shit. So what usually happens is, and this is how they kind of suck people in. Because if you listen to a lot of these guys and gals online that are foreigners, mostly, you know, they'll say some real shit. They'll say, yeah, you know, this and that, and this and that, and this and that. And then you'll be like, now if a young dude is listening to them, a young dude is going to be like, yeah, that makes sense to me, man. Yeah, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, probably 20 minutes within the show, shit go left. And they'll start trolling, and you be like, well, what the fuck? They might say some shit like this. White women are better than black women. White women smell better, look better, even have sex better. You know, they be on that type of shit. They'll be like, oh, then the show just goes left field. You be like, wait a minute, where'd that come from? You know what I'm saying? This shit is this is opinion shit you giving all of a sudden. You know, then he starts saying white women, you know, I get treated better by white women. That's why they're better than black women. And, you know, the shit go left real fast, boy. And you be like, wait a minute. Now, if a young dude is listening to this, teenager, 17, 18, 19, or some shit like that, if he keep listening to this, he's going to swear that, damn, could this be true? Are white women really better than the rest of these women out here? Is it really like that? Yeah. Shit. I mean, they always got to say something that's outrageous too. They'll say, "Man, well, black women stink." You know, something. It'll be some old off the wall shit, and then they like to get animated. Sometimes they'll put on a black face or put on some Klan hood on the damn show. And what they're doing is they're pandering and catering to a white, young, racist audience online. And a lot of these people online, you know, a lot of these people are foreigners that listen to these guys on these shows, men and women. You know what I'm saying? So, and these guys, boy, they hell on a black woman. They hell on a black woman, boy. Ooh, wee. God damn. Boy, a black woman can't do shit right. Even if she tried. Because, you know, some of these guys and gals they get a lot of views. Because, like I say, they're pandering and catering to a certain demographic, a certain audience. And they have mastered how to tap into how these people are thinking and how they feeling about certain groups of people, black, white, black women, black males, black American. They've tapped into how the psyche of how these people think, how their audience think. So they might invite somebody on to their show that's well respected, someone that you might see, you like, oh, he's a cool motherfucker. He got some game. You know what I'm saying? He's a well respected dude or gal, right? So they invite the person on, and most of the time, when you invite someone on to your show, a lot of times these people don't really, they don't really know what type of show. They don't really know what the show's all about. They really don't know because a lot of people are busy. They're not really online watching these people every episode. I know I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I don't have time for all that shit. So most people are just like me. We ain't really got time to be researching, and we might look at a couple videos, a couple clips or something like that, but we don't really know the mindset of these people that want us to come on their show. We really don't. You know what I'm saying? So when these people go on to their show, it might start off good, whatever. Every time the guests say something, there's always some type of pushback. He say, I got to push back on you a little bit on this one. You know what I'm saying? Because what he or she, what they're trying to do really is, they're trying to tap into what the audience wants to hear. You know, so every time the guest says one thing, they'll try to say the opposite of what they say because they know that's what the audience wants to hear. That's how the audience think, you know. But the guests, when they come on there, they be like, yo, what the fuck? These dudes are just trolls. These motherfuckers. So it becomes a troll show for the 30 minutes or hour, however long the guest is on there. The whole show is about trolling, basically. They're trying to say the most outrageous shit as humanly possible. And you be like, and the guest might say, well, damn, you know, I've had certain guests come on to my show that said they've been on some of these troll shows and they've said shit like, well, damn, I was wondering who was the guest because he was doing all the talking. They said that the guest was like, they didn't even say very much of anything. The hosts were doing most of the talking. And that's by design. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're a guest and you go on there, especially if you're a big personality, if you go on some of these troll shows and start saying what's true and what's been proven to work and what's been scientifically proven to work, man, they don't want to hear that shit. The audience don't want to hear that shit. But they'll bring you on there because, you know, you get, maybe you have a lot of following or they think you're going to get views. So, and that's the whole thing. The game is not to educate people or give people some game or some good game. Not at all. They just want to basically start the troll and you know, like these sites like Reddit and what's that other these forums online is full of trolls, man. Yeah, I mean, they say the most racist, outrageous shit you can ever want to hear. Reddit and what's that other one, man? I can't remember. Where it's like people on this, it's full of degenerates. You know, and they hell on a black woman, boy. Woo, man. Yeah, boy, they hell on a black woman, man. I'm telling you. Boy, they have nothing good to say about a black woman at all. Even some of these black creators, man, they have nothing good to say about a black woman, or just women in general. You know, and sometimes they won't even talk about another woman. The whole show is about black woman. What black woman ain't doing. what they need to be doing and all that shit. And a lot of these guys are kind of they really don't like women. They really don't like women. You know what I'm saying? That's what it really comes down to at the end of the day. Now some of them be trolling. We know this. But some of these motherfuckers, they'll bring on a woman and they'll pay, because some of them will pay strippers to come on the show. And then you have some women that just want to come on for GP, right? And then now a lot of these guys be taking advantage of these young broads. Because if the girl is 19, 20, 21, they know the girl don't know shit. So why are you gonna ask the girl what she want in a man and what the girl don't know shit. And they know she don't know shit. So what they'll do is take advantage of the broad. They'll start asking her shit, trying to get her jammed up in the conversation, and trying to get her triggered so she can get all upset. And as soon as the girl get upset and get disrespectful, now they want to kick the girl out and beat her up. You know what I'm saying? It's that type of shit. A lot of these guys are fucking, they're assholes. And they do that by design. You know what I'm saying? That's because they know the girl's 20 years old. She don't know what she wants. She don't know shit. And they know that. So they taking advantage of these young broads. So a lot of these guys, they ain't worth a damn, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's that type of shit. And they have to run these gimmicks on their shows because they really don't have nothing to say at the end of the day. They don't have nothing to say at the end of the day. So that's why they got to be some type of drama going on where they kicking the girl out, kicking the girl off the panel, beating the girl up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man. And if a fight was broke out, they don't shut the stream down or nothing. Everything just keep moving. So that's how you know the shit is planned. Kind of not scripted, but it's planned. They kind of be like, hey, let's start some drama, and so we can get more views. And that's that gimmick type shit. So they got the strippers on there and got the hoes on there. But here's the thing. That type of shit, that type of show ain't gonna last but so long. At some point, you're just not gonna be able to sustain those views and the audience. At a certain point, the audience is gonna get tired of seeing bitches go off on you and disrespect you and you jump on a bitch and all that shit. At some point, you're going to be like, yo, I'm tired of seeing these bitches, bro. And at some point, even the dumbest dude is going to catch on and be like, yo, this shit is just, these dudes are just fucking full of gimmicks. You know what I'm saying? It's just saying, and there's nothing that they talk about in the show that can be applied to real world experience. And even if they do bring someone on that can give you some real world advice, they usually have to pay. These guys have to pay for every goddamn thing because they really don't have no game. No one respects them. No one really want to be around them. That's why they got to pay. They got to pay for everything. They got to pay for the women to come on the show. They got to pay for the women to be around them. They got to pay for every goddamn thing. They even got to pay for the guys to come on the show. In most cases, a lot of these guys and gals, when you see them with people coming on their show, they got to pay. People don't respect them like that. If someone respects you, what you're doing, you won't have to pay. They'll come on for GP because they respect what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? But if they don't respect what you're doing, you're gonna have to pay. That's usually how it go. You know, you might get them one time, but after that, you're gonna have to pay. That's usually how it go. But most of these guys they have to pay for every fucking thing. Because a lot of them, they don't get no respect. Women don't respect them. No, even the hoes don't respect them. Even the hoes don't give them no respect, bro. That's the thing. You know? And like a lot of these guys, you know, they kind of like to pose like they're Black American or some shit like that a lot of time. But if you do some background on a lot of these guys, you'd be like, oh man, you from fucking the Caribbean islands, some shit like that. St. Thomas or Jamaica or some shit like that. And they be saying, we, who the hell is we? We who? Oh, we, who the hell is we? Motherfucker, you a foreigner. You ain't from where I'm from here. Yeah, a lot of them are posers. A lot of them do that, but secretly they'll stab your ass in the back if you start doing something that they're not doing or they can't do. So you got to be careful with a lot of these guys and gals from these other countries, especially from the Caribbean islands. They'll stab you in the back, man. Most of these people, all these people are haters, man. I used to work with a lot of them when I was in Atlanta. I thought we were cool and shit. You know, shit. Man, these motherfuckers are haters, man. I'm telling you. And online, it's about the same. I mean, every once in a while, you might find some riders, but for the most part, no. No. For the most part, man, they're not gonna be on your side. They're gonna be on the other side. That's usually how it go, man. And for a lot of, and we gotta stop letting women off the hook too. That's another thing. Mistake a lot of guys make. A lot of guys let women off the hook. They'll see, there might be a woman from the Caribbean, and they'll be like, now if it's a guy, you know, we'll hold the guy to a different standard. You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, oh, the dude from Puerto Rico or Jamaica or St. Thomas or Barbados, he might be a hater or whatever. So we'll hold him to a different standard. But if we meet a woman that's from that part of the world, we kind of give them a pass. You be like, oh, she's don't know no better. That's bullshit. You gotta watch that bitch too. I don't give a damn. No. You gotta watch her ass too. I found that you have to, based on my experience, you gotta watch her too. She might pull a fast one on your ass. You just never know. You know, she got to be vetted too. Just because she from Jamaica or Barbados or St. Thomas or Puerto Rico, hell no. She don't get no pass in my book. You know, and a lot of these women, you know, they won't say shit. And see, no response is a response. Don't sleep on that. No response is a response. No response means they don't got a problem with it. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? See, some people will say, oh, well, I asked her a question and she didn't have an answer. Well, she gave you a response. No response is a response. God damn it. I always say either she in or she out. That's how it is. There's no medium ground. Oh, no, maybe I'll see. I'll get back to you. No. Hell no. You on the other side. I don't play them games. You know what I'm saying? No. So a lot of times you gotta watch, you gotta take it what these guys say with a grain of salt online. And especially a lot of these old dudes online too. You can't forget about these old dudes. You gotta watch these old dudes online. Because some of them will talk all that shit about, he's a, what do they call him? They call these old dudes, they say he's a master teacher. A master teacher or what? Master teacher or what? I don't even know how this motherfucker look. What he's a master teacher of? What a master teacher of what? Trolling? I mean, what are we talking about here? Man, he's because he's an old guy. He's in the 60s or some shit like that, or 50s or 60s. Oh, he's a master teacher. Master teacher of what? What? We don't even know how this motherfucker look. We don't know where he live. A picture might have came up a couple years ago about him or whatever. And I ain't gonna call no names, but there's a couple people like that online. We call him, oh, he's a master teacher. Master teacher, what? We don't even know where he live for sure. We don't know how he look for sure. You know, he be online, got this Charlie Brown fucking video jumping up and down. Hey, what the hell is this shit? The antics. What? You know, I don't know, man. You know, and a lot of shit people say online, it's nothing new. I heard this shit when I was growing up. This is nothing that it ain't that deep. It really ain't. I knew history growing up from my parents and my grandparents and my great grandparents. I already knew my family history. I didn't have to go and get no damn register for ancestry.org or some shit like that. I didn't have to do none of that shit. All I had to do was just talk to my family, talk to the oldest person. My grandmother was 100 and my grandmother, when she died, she was 100 years old. Well, actually 102 years old when she died. I didn't have to talk to nobody about our family and where they came from. You from where your family came from and all. You know, all I had to do was just talk to my family. And my grandmother's sister, oldest sister, just passed away like 3 months ago. She was 98. So, and my grandmother's oldest brother, he's still living. He's 94. So if I want to know something about the family on my mom's side, I just go talk to him. He's the only person that left. You know what I'm saying? So I was never confused about who I was, where I came from, and where my family came from at all. I never thought, oh, we came from Africa. No, motherfucker, we ain't from no Africa. Are you crazy? Shit. It's that was never a confusion thing for me. I always knew who I was and my family and where they came from. On both sides. I was never confused about any of that shit. You know, it was like, this was as plain as day when I was growing up. As a matter of fact, some of the stuff that I learned in school, I used to go back home and tell my grandmother about it. And she used to look at me like, them people lying. You know, because see, my grandmother was always old. She was always old. I never saw my grandmother young. So this is what I grew up around. I grew up around when I was born, everybody was old. Except for my mom and my dad. Everybody was older than me. I didn't have to, I didn't have to go and do no research. I just go talk to my family members. Anything I want to know, they know the answer. It's not like, I ain't had to go do no DNA test. Shit. I mean, like, and see these guys online in the red pill community or Manosphere, you know, they're confused about who they are. Some of them don't know who their daddy is, and they got bad relationship with their mom and dad. The dad might have died early, or the mom might have been a hoe, or a prostitute, or some shit like that. Or the dad might have been a child molester. These guys and gals be going through it online, man. That's what a lot of that they say hurt people. So now they take that shit out on, they be like, damn you black people. Wasn't for your genes, I could have been white and be accepted by the white people. It's that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So that they're going through it, man. They want to be Anglo white so bad, it ain't gonna happen. So when you see these guys acting out online, saying all the outrageous shit, 9 times out of 10, they mixed up with something. Or they might be from some place like Colombia or Puerto Rico or some shit like that, or they might be from New York, Miami. They got got too much blood inside them. Too many mixed blood inside them. They don't know if they want to go right or left. They have what we call dual allegiance. You have, like, I give you a good example. Let's say you have let's say your dad is black, your mom is white. 9 times out of 10, that kid is going to be confused about some certain things. Because what usually happens is once the kid becomes like a teenager and as adult, that white family is never going to accept that kid. It's never going to happen. Yeah, the parents, the grandparents are going to be cool because that's the grandkid. But Uncle Bill ain't ever going to be cool with his niece. Uncle Bob, Uncle Bill, Aunt Amy, they'll tolerate that mixed child, but it ain't gonna be like being around a black family. See, the black family will accept that mixed child because that's just who we are. You know what I'm saying? And that's a gift and a curse. Because we'll accept anybody. That's the gift and a curse. But that black family is going to accept that mixed child with open arms. But let me tell you what usually happens. It happens a lot. That mixed child will kind of feel like she's better than the black family, the black side of the family. She'll feel like she's better in some type of way, probably subconsciously or, unconsciously. She'll feel I'm better than them. And then she might turn around and say something like, well, the black side of my family, they don't accept me. Well, and then if you ask some questions, you go deeper, you'd be like, well, how do you know they don't accept you if you never really went over there? You never really visited them. You just talked to them over the phone a couple times. You never even seen them in person. How do you really know they never accepted you if you never met them? So it's going to be that type of shit. I'm like, you really don't know if they accepted you at all because you never met them. What are you talking about? And then she'll say, well, yeah, that's a good point. I didn't like how the conversation was over the phone. I say over the phone is one thing, but in person it's completely different in most cases. I said people can say anything over the telephone. Some people are not phone talkers. Some people are good in person. They're not really phone talkers like that. You know what I'm saying? So I said, hey, why don't you try meeting them in person? Just give it at least one time. Just see how it goes. And then she said, oh, okay, I'll give it a try or whatever, you know. And then she went on. She went to visit her family. I think it was doing Thanksgiving. And then she came back to me and said, oh, it turned out great. I said, yeah, I know. I told you how this shit usually go, you know. It's, you know, you're in that fantasy little world. You're thinking too much. And that's how it usually go. That kid, but let me tell you what, that kid usually is kind of delusional because on one hand, it's like she's never going to be good enough for the white family, but it's sometimes, and this is in her mind now, she's never going to be too good. She's never going to be good enough for the white side of the family, but she's never going to be black enough for the black side of the family. Now, this is her way of thinking. I'm not saying the family is thinking this at all. This is in her mind. You know what I'm saying? So that's what this mixed child an adult is going through. And she might have grew up like this, thinking like this. And 9 times out of 10, she ain't had nobody really tell her no different because the white mama ain't gonna really be honest with her in most cases. To see, the white mom is gonna tell her some shit like this. Hey, you're black and white. You're mixed. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you look at this girl or guy, you know, if you didn't know she had a white mama, if she didn't tell you that, you would never known. You just think, she's just another black woman to me. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's no such thing as a mixed person. I'm gonna tell you why. See, white people already know there's no such thing as a mixed person. You know how I know this? Because when I was growing up, nobody was talking like this. Nobody was saying, oh, I mixed this, half that. Nobody was talking about no bullshit like that. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't in no books. It's not even in the Constitution. It ain't in no literature. It ain't in no encyclopedia. It ain't in the only place you'll find some mixed bullshit is in the books that they write today. You know, it ain't, even if you go to court, there ain't no mixed bullshit, no mix. Some half this, half that. If you stand in front of a judge, they ain't gonna say, oh, you mix. Hey, your mama white? No, they don't give a fuck about that shit in court. All they gonna do, ask you, is this you? Are you such and such? And they'll take it from there. They're not gonna ask you, hey, is your mom white? And if you get stopped by the police on the side of the road, the police gonna look you up and down. Okay, look like a black woman to me. Goddamn it, shit. If you tell a cop, if she tell a cop, hey, my mom white, who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? That's how you know there's no such thing as a mixed person. That's the truth. A lot of people don't want to hear that, but that's the truth. Even if you go overseas. And, some people will say, well, I'm half Japanese and half black. I'm half Japanese. Well, I'm half black and half Korean. Man, let me tell you something. If your mom is Korean and your dad is black in America, And if that kid take his black ass to fucking Korea, all they see is a black person. They don't see no half this, no half that in no damn Korea. They don't see it like that in Korea. They don't see it like that in Japan. They don't see it like that in Vietnam. They don't see it like that in Singapore. They don't see it like that in China. They don't see it like that in no fucking where on the planet. That's the truth. That's how you know there's no such thing as a mixed person. That's the truth. Yeah, you are who your parents are. Yeah, we already know all of that. We're not saying you should deny your parents. Respect your parents, your grandparents. We're not saying you can't pick who your parents are. We understand that shit. But to say that somehow you being a mixed child is supposed to be a leg up in society, that's bullshit. And no one believes that bullshit. The only place where you can play that little game is here in North America, depending on where you live at. If you live in some place like LA, maybe New York or Miami, you can kind of pull that bullshit game. In Atlanta too, you can kind of play around and be like, "Oh, I'm Blasian," that type of bullshit, and do it online too. You can kind of play that little bullshit game online, and if you're in LA, New York, Miami, Atlanta, you can kind of play around like that, and people will kind of go. People will play around with you, go along with it. But once you leave North America, that's when shit get real. Once you go to court or get stopped by the police, that's when shit get real. You know, that's you can't play them games anywhere else. In North America, it's kind of a fantasy world. It's like Las Vegas of the world. You can come to North America and they be making up shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? They make up shit all the time. Red pill, black pill, blue pill, Manosphere, PUA. They make up shit all the time. As a matter of fact, in 6 months, they're gonna have a new phrase for something in the red pill community. Watch. I'm telling you. In 6 months, there'll be a new phrase for something. And you'd be like, what the hell is that? And then somebody will tell you what it means. I'll be like, oh, okay. And every 6 to 12 months, there's some new phrase, some new word in the community, red pill community for something. And you'd be like, what the fuck? What the fuck that mean? That only works in North America. That don't work in Dubai, Australia, Japan, Guam, Korea, Bali. That don't work in these other places. You go up to doing immigration, you start talking about, I'm mixed. I'm half I'm half Sudan and half what? I'd be like, what the fuck you talking about? What the fuck this bitch talking about? That don't work. that's just, and that's what these guys are going through online. They have identity issues, man. They hate themselves. They hate themselves because the white people won't accept them. They're white. They could pass for white, but they're just not white enough. And that's the problem that a lot of these guys and gals have online. That's where all that frustration and all that hatred stems from when you see it online. That's why a lot of that hatred and frustration stems from the name calling, the memes, the videos that they come up with, especially these people from these African countries. You know, that's where a lot of that hatred comes from. Because a lot of these people, when they come from places like Kenya, Sudan, and Nigeria, man, the first white guy they see, they jump on top of him. The first white guy they meet, they jump on top of him. No hesitation, either. They're professional ass kisses. They have a totally different mindset than we do, than I do for sure. You know how they go about doing things. I don't fucking want to do none of that shit. I don't even operate like that. I don't go around kissing people's ass. For what? The people ass you kissing, they can't help you. When these people come over here, they're trying to rip you off. They're trying to take whatever they can get out of you. Especially now that they bringing these people over like crazy from these other countries. You got to be careful depending on where you live at. Now, I happen to live in a city where they're not bringing any foreign people over. There's no foreigners coming over here. But in places like New York, Chicago, or Houston, I think, you know, and Boston, you know, but where I live, they don't have no immigrants coming in here like that. But these people are trying to rip you off, man. Well, you know, and they say they so great. They say they're so great. You know, if you're so great, how come you weren't great in your country where you came from? Because see, when they come over here, they say we lazy, right? Well, how the hell I'm like, yo, you ain't qualified to talk about me, homeboy, homegirl. Hey, where you came from? It's slummy. Y'all were hoeing. Y'all were hoeing on the corner. Y'all were escorts. Y'all selling cooch at a discount where you came from. You ain't qualified to talk about me, homegirl. Homeboy. You selling Yeah, man. I'm like, man, don't you ever disrespect. Man, don't you ever let these people disrespect you. They come over here trying to talk shit. I'm like, man, you ain't qualified to talk to me about shit, bro. I haven't failed. I don't fail. I don't take L's. You've been losing all your life. Then all of a sudden you came over here, you got some support, and they then gave you some money and a place to live. And now you after about a year or two, maybe 2 or 3 years go by, you done got on your feet. Now all of a sudden you forgot where you came from. You from a place of slums, full of slums. Oh, these countries where these people come from, you name any country, it's full of slums. I've been to where a lot of these people come from. It's slums. Most all these places fucking ghetto ain't the word for it. Hood, man, this hood is like an understatement. The worst hood in America look good compared to where these people came from. It's slums everywhere. All in Europe, you know, all over. Russia, man, all these countries. You pick any country, I'll be able to tell you about them. There's slums, and we don't live like the way they live, the way the black people live over there in these other countries. We don't live like that. We ain't never lived like that. Even my great grandparents ain't lived like we ain't living a trailer. Live in a trailer or some shanty towns. We ain't never lived like that. But they gonna come over here and try to talk shit. I'm like, man, if you don't sit your ass down, you won't get slapped. Get out of here. I mean, I never had nobody approach me like that, but I've heard stories how that other people have gotten approached. And I'm like, man, why don't you ever let nobody disrespect you like that? Because see, they can't talk to me like that. Because I've traveled, I've been to where a lot of these people come from. You got holes on the track. You got countries, man, where prostitution is like a part of the economy in some of these places, man. You got guys that are so weak and lame in these countries, they got to prostitute their woman so they can get some money. You know how lame and weak you got to be to tell your wife or your girlfriend or your daughter, hey, you got to put your whole shoes on and put on a dress and you got to sell some cooch because we need some money because he can't figure it out. You know how lame you got to be as a man to do some shit like that? How low you got to be? You got to sell your daughter out, sell your wife out, sell your kids to some stranger because you ain't enough of a man to figure the shit out. And you sitting around 40, 50, 60 years old. You've been living for 50, 60 years, ain't never figured it out, could never take care of your family. You had to take the lowest of lows. You had to sell your wife to a stranger for some money. You had to sell your daughter to a stranger for some money, a male or a bride. Because the dad wasn't shit. That's the truth. So I tell people, don't you ever let some of these other guys come over here and disrespect you. Because he ain't shit. He had to leave. He ain't shit. He had to leave his country to come over here. He had to run from where he came from to come over here with us to get a handout. And the only way he was able to live better when he get over here, because he had support. He had free, unearned benefits. And that's the truth. So these people, you ain't qualified to talk to me about shit. That's the truth. And they talking about how great they are. You wasn't that great. If you're that great, you've been great. You be great everywhere. Being great ain't got nothing to do with no location. If you're great one place, you be great another place. I always say you can drop me off anywhere in the world. I'm getting some money. I'm finding a way to get some money. I don't care. I don't got to speak the language. I'll find a way to get some money. I'll find something to sell to get some money. And I don't got to sell I don't got to sell no bitch down the river to get no money. I don't got to sell my woman to get some money. And I don't got to learn the language later. That's how thorough we are. These guys ain't got it like that. And that's the truth. That's why when we show up in these other countries, these guys are jealous. Because they know their woman is going to be looking at us. And they got a problem with that. Because that brings out their insecurities that they have. That's why they don't like us being around. That's why they don't like us being around their wife, being around their girlfriend. Because that brings out their insecurities. That's why in these other countries, these guys drink all the time. drink, getting high, popping pills, all that shit. And they'll come over here, they're doing the same shit. They'll drink all the time. They drink like it's the last shot of liquor. Last mix. I'm like, bro, you drink all the time, bro. I mean, do you do anything else besides drinking all the time? God damn. I mean, it's like every Friday, when Friday comes, boy, it's party time. And you be like, after you get to know them, most of them, you be like, you really ain't shit. You really ain't about shit. All you got is a job. That's all you got. But you really ain't about shit. And your woman know you ain't shit. But she don't really have a choice. She gotta roll, roll with you, until, I don't know, at least until the kids get bigger or whatever, But the guy, 9 times out of 10, the guy that she ends up with is better than the guy that she came from. So in her eyes, she upgraded in most cases. But the guy that she with, he still ain't shit. And he know he ain't shit. When I come around, the insecurity's gonna come out. So when you see these guys online, that's where the insecurities and the name calling, that's where that comes from. They can't, and especially if they think if they think you're doing better than them or living better than them, oh man, it's really gonna come out then. Then they start pocket watching them. You making all this money. That's when that pocket watching thing comes out. You making all this money. You taking advantage of people. I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to live? Like you? Living in squalor in the favelas? Living in the slums like you, where you came from? Hell no. We ain't never lived like that. We ain't never lived like that in history since we've been in this country. My family ain't never lived in no slums. We ain't never lived in no shack. And even if we did live in the shack, we ain't gonna be in there long. We get the fuck up. We gonna find a way to get our families the fuck up out of here, out of that damn shack or the slum. Because we built that way. So yeah. That's all I got to say. You know what I'm saying? Shit. But hey, I'm gonna put the link in here. And P.S. and by the way, you can get any of my books at sharpgamebook.com. That's how you find any of my books. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna put the link in here, and if you want to come in and say something, let's go. We can talk about anything. Otherwise, I'm gone. But yeah, that's the real deal, man. That's what a lot of that. Yeah, man, that's what a lot of that shit comes from. That's the truth of how the Manosphere and the red pill and all this shit really got started. And it's been over 20 years since this shit is came along. And probably within the next 5 years, it's gonna morph into something else. It's gonna change into something else. In 5 years, they might not call it red pill. They might call it something else. It used to be PUA. They don't say PUA no more. They don't say pickup artists no more. They'll call it something else. In 10 years, they might not say Manosphere no more. They might call it something else. You know, they might, in 10 years, they might not say Passport Bros no more. They might call it something else. So things change over time. It is reworded, but it's the same. Mostly, it's the same group of people. It's a small group of people. That's all it is. But a lot of these people, man, are weirdos, freaks, and degenerates. A lot of them, you know, like I said, a lot of them beat their wives, they beat the kids, they beat the girlfriends up, and they have weird charges, and they have charges, sexual assault charges, and all kind of weird shit be going on with these guys. Some of them end up in prison. Some of them ended up in prison. Had to do prison time over, you know. Yeah, a lot of these guys are weirdos, man. Freaks and degenerates. And you got a lot of these old people online talking about their master teachers. Master teachers of what? Master teachers of what, man? Look, if you got to know some of these guys, a lot of these guys got kids. A lot of these guys have kids. If you got to know these guys and you met their kids, man, their kids is fucked up, bro. How the hell you a master teacher and your kids is fucked up? You failed your kids. So that tells me you ain't that good. You're not as good as you think you are. If you're a fucking master teacher and your kids has failed, all of them. I'm not talking about one of them. All of them failed. All of them in and out of jail, not productive in society. They on the got hooked on drugs. Alcoholic bitch. Hoe. You done something wrong. Or maybe you didn't. I don't know. You failed them. That's like a lot of these celebrities. A lot of them have failed their kids. All their kids is fucked up. The kids is on drugs. Can't get them off the drug. One of them die. All kind of shit. The wife is sniffing cocaine like she's Tony Montana in Scarface. You know, come on. The whole family fucked. That man failed. That's just a reality. It's a hard pill to swallow, but that guy failed his family. And he has nobody to blame but him. You know? I'm not listening to a guy that's like that. I'm not listening to a guy that his family's in shambles. Yeah, he might have had some successes outside of his family, but family should be priority. In my book, family should be first. At least that's how I was taught. If your family is in shambles, I'm not fucking listening to your ass. Fuck, I'm listening to you for. I don't want to have a family that ends up in shambles. But hey, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. You know what I'm saying? But hey, share this episode. Get the latest and greatest books. SharpGameBook.com. And the link is on the top. The link is pinned to this pinned in the chat as well. So that's all I got, man. Till next time, I'm out. All right. Just
Got the callers going down tonight. It's a lot of goodbyes here tonight. But then I saw the stallion that I like. Hair from Cali, I live in the valley. Then you look sexy.